Alright, I'm going to show you guys Trinidad, Colorado this late afternoon as the sun goes down. It's going to be a nice little ride today, just you and I. You know, one thing that I've been contemplating this morning and afternoon is where my focus is really going to be for Outside the Box 2.0. I'm a lot closer to my goal than I was in the past. I've got lights, I've got a decent camera, and I've got a green screen. Now it's time to focus and implement the vision. Now it's time to get the job done. So one of the things that I'm thinking about is the best of Alex Ansary and staying away from the nonsense. And that's where you come into play. What is your favorite part of Outside the Box TV? Is it the commentary? Is it the off-the-grid information or inspiration or adventures that I've been having? Is it the news? And if it's the news, is it my coverage of China? Is it, you know, my coverage of the solar flares, my spiritual perspectives of the solar flares? How about social commentary? You know, a lot of people just call people sheeple and zombies, but they don't get deep into the analysis of why people are the way that they are. True human psychology. Move over, Freud. It's time for Ansary's Answers. And so, if social commentary is what you appreciate, and non-religious spiritual commentary, feel free to share that in the description down below. Now, it is rush hour. I'm in a really small town. Trinidad is a town of about 10,000 people. It has a cute downtown, yet it's a very small town. And I'll tell you what, the cost of living for the apartment that I share with a friend of mine is a third. Now think utilities and rent together. It is a third the cost of what it would be in Portland, Oregon. Okay? It's a quarter of the cost of what it would be in Dallas, Texas. Okay? It's probably a sixth of the cost of what it would take to live in New York City, or an eighth of the cost. Same thing for Los Angeles. Same thing for Southern California. What I want people to understand is this is the land of freedom. I know that you've read things about Denver, which is 3 miles to the north. I know you've read things about Agenda 21 in Colorado, and all I'm trying to help you understand is that despite the things that you're reading, despite the things that you're seeing, there is a land of freedom out there that you've never seen and you've never known. I know what life is like in the cage. I know what life is like in the big city. I know what life is like working for someone else. And I'm here to tell you, man, life is different on the other side. And I say the other side, I'm not talking about death. I'm talking about reality. Life is different elsewhere in America. I have never, ever been able to live somewhere where I have felt so at peace. You know, it's interesting. As we watch this development with the police state and people getting hurt and even things that you read about in New Mexico, I have never been accosted by any police officer, state patrol, anyone in Colorado. I have never gone through those things. But yet when I think about my hometown of Portland, Oregon, cops pull me over is a big part of my memory. And so this is interesting, and this is fascinating. And for those of you that think the West Coast is more progressive or the East Coast is more progressive, I challenge you to take a closer look at the world we live in today. Okay, this is downtown Trinidad, Colorado. This is basically the beginning of Main Street, where the action is. Cute little Trinidad diner, like something out of a movie. I'd expect to meet James Dean there, maybe Elvis. And we've got Main Street over here. The sun is going down. There are no police in sight. And when you do see police here, they're driving old vehicles. They're not driving steroid driven Mustangs and Dodge Chargers and other you know, similar police models, Crown Victorias. You know, you don't have them pop up behind you, you know, like in Portland, like in Dallas, like in LA, like in New York, like in Chicago, like in Philly, like in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or Detroit, Michigan. This is not like your home. You have never lived anywhere like this. But victim consciousness is strong, my friends. If you think that all is lost because of what you're reading on the internet, then you've lost. You've lost it. That's what you've lost. You are not powerful, and you are not someone that I would ever look up to if you run around half the time talking about how scared you are and how you can't do it. In fact, I'm spending most of my time as I'm looking at reality trying to ignore you. At the same time, don't take this personally, because this may not apply to you, but this does apply to people that do watch my channel, that don't understand that there can be another way. But the point is for you to understand that there is another way. Whether you choose to live in Pennsylvania or Oregon, New York, California, Texas. Noticing I'm talking the states now, not the cities, because in each one of the states that you're watching this in now, there is peace somewhere in your state. There are good people. And the problem is, we live in a world of madness, and people stop trusting other people, and it hurts. It hurts to see people not try to live their dreams. I want to live my dreams. I want to be a real man. I want to be a real human. I don't want to be another fake, and there are too many fakes even in the alternative media these days. And I want to be the best example that I can be. And the only way that I can do that is to go out and live it. To go off the grid, then go back on the grid, then go off the grid, then go back in the grid. I don't have to stay in one place. Who says so? Who says I have to go be someone's slave? Who says I have to live someone else's idea of what Alex Ansary should be? Where does this shit come from? It's madness. It's madness. And we need to escape from the maddening nightmare. We need to see the light, the true light, and stop being mesmerized by the holograms of our day and age. So Trinidad is a nice place. It's in southern Colorado. It's off of I-25. I don't know a single soul in this town, but what I will tell you about life in Colorado, people don't waste a lot of their time. I don't mean to use the word waste, but they don't spend a lot of their time on conspiracies. I have a calling. That's why I do what I do. But I don't just cover conspiracies. I'm outside the box. I'm outside the grid. Maybe not at the moment, but the last year was spent off the grid. People here don't worry about those things because they're too busy exploring nature. They're too busy living life. And even though the world isn't a perfect place, and it might seem like there's no escape from the New World Order, from the tyranny, from the doom and gloom, should we not appreciate the moments of peace that do exist in our world? The relationships, the laughs. It may be true that I've been hurt by many people, by being rejected because of who I am, because I am outside the box. Yet at the same time, that they attack me because I am aware of things that they would rather not want to be aware of. I still agree with them. There is something about our thoughts. There is something about the law of attraction at play here. There is something about understanding they want us afraid and they want us terrified and not even doing anything. And what we got to do is we got to break down those walls that divide us. We got to overcome the illusion of separation if we are to move forward in our lives. I mean, what are we fighting for? You think you're really fighting for, the restoration of your republic and your government? They've destroyed everything, and it's a matter of time before we go to the next level. All we have is ourselves. And don't ever forget that. All right, we're gonna skip the Christmas music. We're gonna take one last, hope you enjoyed that heartfelt moment with Alex Ansary. We're gonna go ahead and rock out one more time here. We're gonna go ahead and take you down Main Street one last time. This is Trinidad, Colorado, population 10,000. There's a couple thrift stores. There's not many decent radio stations. But who needs radio, right?
Small town Saturday night. It's a small town Saturday night.
It's actually Friday. By the way, I've been without a seatbelt. I just want to say, I'm real proud of it. You know, might as well have the AC/DC "I Got Big Balls" song rocking. You gotta have big balls to ride dirty without a seatbelt in the grid. I'm just hanging out in the free world. You can keep your slave collar, you can keep your strip pole. I'm gonna be free, you dumb motherfucking slave that has an issue with Stockholm Syndrome. I'm not talking to you folks, but certainly you can't say that doesn't apply to millions of people that love their enslavement. You know, people see me filming. They ought to be lucky I'm not fucking megaphoning their asses. They ought to thank their lucky stars. Living in Colorado, got a camera driving down Main Street, reflecting on my life, saying fuck you to the haters. Oh yeah, the haters' ball is going down. You know, somebody deleted all my videos from a certain YouTube channel that I was associated with for some time, and I let it go. Let bygones be bygones. And we're gonna go ahead and close with this. Sometimes in life you just gotta realize it's more important to walk away than fight. It's more important to forgive and let bygones be bygones. It's one thing to fight with someone, it's another to improve your life and do what you gotta do to get the job done. Hey, if you or anyone you know lives in Trinidad, Colorado, which I doubt, it's a small town of 10,000, but that's where I am right now. Not bad for a small town of 10,000. And like I said, it's far more affordable to live here than it is in a lot of places in the country. You would be shocked. So hopefully in time, in 2014, I'm gonna have some allies off the grid. Potential off-the-grid allies of Alex Ansary. People that accept me for me, people that don't put me into a box as truther or this and that and the other, and people that actually understand that like minds is about love, compassion, forgiveness, working together, and understand that together when we put our resources together, our muscles together, basically our human energy together, we're very, very powerful. We are very, very powerful. That's why the forces of darkness want to keep us apart, keep us fighting, keep us in this cage. It's time to think outside the cage, think outside the box. It's time to think outside the grid in some cases. I'm enjoying the sunset. I have spent way too much time inside this week dealing with other people's shit, and boy, it feels really good to be outside right now. Feeling that sun coming down. I'm thinking about the solar flares. I'm thinking about the increase in solar activity. The sun's poles are about to flip very shortly, and when that happens, I expect there to be a certain amount of human emotional response of a certain intense kind. So be aware, folks. Check out my presentation if you haven't. If this is your first time watching this video, if someone shared this on Facebook and you've never heard of me, go to my YouTube channel and check out Alex Ansary and Solar Maximum, Cycles of War, Societal Change, and Personal Transformation of Consciousness. I'm going to go in the store now and I'm going to get some smoothie material, some ice, some fruit, and some other healthy things, some things for dinner, and I'm going to go home and cook. Take care.